Hello everyone, in this lesson I will talk about the topics we will cover during the Cisco Wireless LAN course. I have prepared the content of this course by adding current topics to the curriculum of the CCNA wireless book prepared by Cisco. While preparing the content of this course, I also created a document in English. You can download this document from the resources section of this video. Now let's look at the topics we will cover throughout our course. In Part 1 I will talk about course content and Cisco certifications, and in Part 2 we will discuss wireless network fundamentals. I will finish Chapter 2 by talking about the basics of RF in the first lesson of Part 2, wireless network standards in our second lesson, antenna types in our third lesson, wireless network topologies in our fourth lesson, and the effects of physical objects on RF signals in our fifth lesson. In Chapter 3, we will discuss wireless network architecture, access point architecture in our first lesson, access point modes in our second lesson, wireless LAN controller types in our third lesson, access point discovery in our fourth lesson, and finally we will finish this section by dealing with roaming. In the fourth chapter, we will cover the installation and settings. First we will set up a VLAN, in our second lesson we will set up the wireless LAN controller, in the third lesson we will create an interface, in the fourth lesson we will create a wireless LAN, and in the last lesson we will finish this section by setting up DHCP and DNS. In the fifth chapter, we will cover wireless network security. In our first lesson we will study authentication, in our second lesson we will cover privacy and integrity methods, in our third lesson we will learn how to create a wireless LAN using WPA2 and WPA3 and pre-shared key, in our next lesson we will cover local extensible authentication protocol, and in our last lesson we will implement Radius Server and LDAP authentication wireless LAN. In Chapter 6, we will cover advanced settings. First I will show you how to update the wireless LAN controller. In the second lesson we will make roaming settings. In our third lesson we will do channel merging and band settings. In our fourth lesson we will finish our lesson by dealing with converting lightweight access points to autonomous access points and creating SIDs. That's all we will tell you for now. Goodbye, to see you in our next lesson.